Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. We are going to take a deep dive into the first series of the weekend. Obviously, the Yankees and the Phillies, they played last night. But before we do that, let's drop the intro. Like I said, morning, good morning, Yankees universe, KOD Nation, stand up, and all you DJs, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to this Tuesday, April 4th edition of the Yankees Morning Brew. I am your guy, Hector. Before I get into it, shout out to the chat. Geraldine McIver's in the building. My guy, Tyler Tabbitt. Tyler, it was amazing seeing you this weekend. It was awesome. We'll get into that. Of course, my brother TC Stills is in the chat. I got my guy, Mr. Steve Schumann is in the chat. Stevie Pooh, how you doing? Anthony Medina de la Isla is in the building. Anthony, I hope your son had a great birthday. L.I. Yankee King is in the building. You know L.I. Stills 69. The hangover is still hanging over, Stills. The hangover is still hanging over. My voice is gone after this weekend, brother. G-Man for life is in the building. G-Man, how you doing? KC Funtime is in the building. KC, I hope you had an amazing birthday as well. Ocean Views and Coffee Crew is in the building. Oh, Jiggerman has that hangover too, Stills. Jiggerman definitely has that hangover. But before we get into it, I got my two guys backstage to help us with this convo. The first one I'm bringing up, my guy Halal, Backstage Baseball. How you doing, Halal?
What's up? How's it going? Feels great. How you doing? Tuesday morning.
I'm good, bro. Trying to get my voice to recover because last night, myself, Halal, Pete, Jira, and our guy Joe Felix also met up with us. We was at Yankee Stadium watching the Yankees and Phillies. Halal, how was your thoughts from last night's game?
Oh, it was such a blast hanging out there, hanging out with everyone. It was just a blast. Some wacky guys in that section. It was so fun. It was a blast. It was just so fun to be there. First Yankee game of the season, and everything clicked. 8-1 Yankees victory. It was great.
Not gonna lie, buying tickets that are $10 and being able to stand in that standing area that's right by the bullpen, that's not a bad way to watch the Yankee game. Halal, what's your thoughts?
Oh yeah, definitely. That was clutch. Came down and you like had the whole section and nobody coming near that section. I can tell you that. Once you conquer that area, UP, Joe, nobody's coming near there.
That's a fact. Still says, I would ask Halal how's a hangover, but he probably got the next quick hangover. My man was tossing back Ben and Jerry's last night like it was nothing, Stills, guarantee. But before we continue, I got to bring in my other guy. TC Stills is in the building. TC Stills, good morning, gorgeous.
Good morning. What's up, guys? How you doing?
I'm good. Still trying to recover. Like I said, my voice is a little hoarse right now for screaming all weekend, but I'm good, TC. What's your thoughts from last night's game? And also, what's your thought from the opening series this weekend?
Hey, you can't complain about that. That game last night was all around. Everything was working. The pitching, the hitting. I mean, I love these no stress games. I mean, last year we had so many of them, and I love this. Just coasting. Everybody's hitting. Gleyber looks good. Pitching was great. Bullpen.
Yes.
I mean, what more can you ask for?
And shout out to Ian Hamilton also, coming out, in the last inning. We all know the story of Ian Hamilton. It's good to see him because when we were seated, right, Ian Hamilton was literally sitting in the seats that are in the dugout. That kind of looks like how the lifeguards sit at the pool, right? Those seats that are elevated so you can see the entire field. And I was wondering, who is that? And then Halal was like, oh, that's Ian Hamilton. So shout out to Ian Hamilton. The story, what he had to battle back to get to the major league roster. So it's just an incredible thing. But Halal, I want to ask you, buddy, because I know we only have you for a few minutes. Give us your thoughts when it comes to Nestor Cortez, how fast the game was because they were able to shave off 30 minutes all around Major League Baseball. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, pitch clock's been very effective as of late. I knew that when I had to go get food last night and drinks, you got to hustle, really hustle. We just got back from Rizzo's home run, ran to the bathroom, quickest bathroom break I've ever had, sprinted there. We actually had like a nice hack. I waited for somebody to open the exit door at Yankee Stadium to go in through there, so we didn't have to wait on the line. So that was, but it was good. The pitch clock's definitely effective. I think it's bringing a lot more people into baseball. And it was even just everyone was working faster. Nestor Cortez is going to make so much trouble with that pitch clock. You just know it's going to be great.
Like, they pointed it out, and I'll throw it over to TC to get his take on it. But they was pointing it out this morning. Last year, the first opening series of Major League Baseball, they averaged almost 3 hours and 4 minutes, right? For last year when it came to the opening weekend of baseball. This opening weekend of baseball, they were averaging 2 hours and 33 minutes. So basically 31 minutes were being saved from this season compared to last year. TC, what's your thoughts on that real quick?
No, I like it. I was a little iffy on the whole pitch clock, but I like it. It moves the game along, and the runs are up, stolen bases are up. I mean, everything, it just moves the game along, and just waiting for guys to step off, do this, get out of the box. The game's just going. It's like, let's go. That's how it should be, and that's how. I mean, they brought up a stat last year about on the game, like in the 50s and 60s, the games were 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
We're bringing it back to the way it was. We're not trying to fix it. We're just bringing it back.
Yeah, and to your point, I'll throw it over to Halal. When it comes to that, and I get it. A lot of us, we had reservations about the new rules because of Manfred, right? Manfred, he tries his best as a commissioner, but we understand he's not the brightest, he's not the sharpest tool in the tool set. But when it comes to this decision by Rob Manfred, it was an amazing decision that Major League Baseball did. It's speeding up the games. Like Halal said, if you got to go get your food, you got to hustle in order to get back. And to be honest, it just makes the experience so much better. We was looking at our phones. It was like 9 o'clock, Halal, and we was already in the 7th inning.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. The only reason why it took a little bit extra is because of the pitch changing by the Philadelphia Phillies. Besides that, I think that game would have finished around like 9:20, 9:15, just how fast it was going. Halal, I'll throw it over to you. When it comes to Rob Manfred and the reservations that I was talking about, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that what he did, obviously, as you mentioned, he's definitely by no means has been great for Major League Baseball. But this decision in particular and some of the rule changes he made this year definitely has worked out really well in the short term that we've had right now. And we'll see how it plays out the rest of the season. I forgot who brought it up last night. I think it may have been Pete. But he said, what about the postseason? It might be hard because everyone's up. I forgot exactly.
Oh, that was Joe. That was Joe who brought that up. And it's a valid point. How is it going to change the atmosphere in the postseason? It's a valid question. Go ahead, Hal. I'll finish what you were saying.
Yeah, so I was just wondering. It's a good point. I wonder if they'd consider adjusting it to make the postseason. I don't know. It might make sense to add a couple seconds on the pitch clock in the postseason. But then you have the play. It's definitely something that players will get used to, and it's just fans will have to adjust. I think you'll definitely have more vendors walking around giving out food rather than coming to them. I think that's definitely something you'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Halal, I know you only got like 1 minute left to go, but the Yankees, they play tonight against the Phillies again. What do you need to see tonight when it comes to the Phillies? I'll give you the matchup right now. Pitching for the Yankees tonight. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, it just closed on me. Halal. Pardon me. Pitching for the Yankees tonight will be Domingo Germán versus Stram from the Philadelphia Phillies. Matt Stram from the Phillies. What's your thoughts on Domingo Germán and what he has to do tonight to be successful?
Well, the Yankees didn't use a lot of their bullpen last night, so that's good. Domingo Germán, I'm expecting 5 good innings out of him. Nothing more. That's what I'm expecting from Domingo Germán. When it comes to the lineup, I'm expecting Gleyber Torres to come out as strong as he did last night. A mistake would be to sit Torres today. That's something that I'm looking at. Torres needs to play tonight. I think Higashioka will be in the lineup tonight as well. coming off that home run on Saturday or Sunday, one of those two. So I think Higashioka will be in the lineup as well. LeMahieu needs to continue the strong hitting at the top of the order. And I wouldn't be shocked to see either a Stanton or a Judge off day today.
Yeah, definitely. Hello, it is that time. It is 11:10. I do appreciate you for taking time and joining us. You have a safe trip to Atlanta, and make sure you text me when you landed, just so I can have my anxiety just go away, because I care about you. Hello.
All right, thank you so much. You too, and I'll see you later. Talk later. Bye, TCC.
Later, brother. Bye. TC, before we continue, I just want to give a shout out to the chat as well. We got my guy FJ in the building. FJ, what it do? Hope all is well. Mikey Mazza and the 4 Train Express is in the building. How you doing? My man TC Stills, he said, Jigga, to be honest with us, what kind of whatever you were on Saturday, bro? You was all over the place. TC, that's Jigga Man 24/7, bro. I realized that because this is the first time I met Jigga Man this weekend, right? In person. I was really like, oh, wow. He is really like that 24/7. But yeah. Shout out to my bro Jigga Man. Love that guy. Just so you guys know, just got to do a program update, right? Starting next week, just because the Yankees season is now here. The Knicks are going to be going into the postseason. Next week, the Knicks are going to have some few days off. So we're switching up the programming. Starting next week on Monday, Yankees Morning Brew will be at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. will be the Yankees Morning Brew, just so I don't step on any toes when it comes to any other Yankee content creators. And before we get into it even more, TC, I just got this video that I have to play from this weekend's festivities. Yeah, appreciate you, Jigga Man, for putting it up. I know, TC, don't worry. Next time you out, the next time you'll be there next time. But just want to play this video. And shout out to everybody who was a part of this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Shout out to Still. Shout out to Anthony Medina. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Kev Dog. It was everyone who was out there. If I forgot your name, I do apologize. But here it is.
See, this is the part no one likes to cover, all right? The part where we sit here and we cry because the weekend is over. But man, what a weekend. Thank you, KOD, Knights of Legion, KOD Media, Pete Simonetti, MOY News, Jira, Heck, your girl, Alex, amazing. I just couldn't be more grateful for the weekend that we had, man. And just a reminder of how great this is gonna be, you know?
You know, bro, I just, like I kept saying this entire weekend, your chosen family, it means the world to you, right? They always said the blood is thicker than water, but no, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, my guy. And this chosen family that we have is special. You, Pete, Jira, your brother Phil, KOD Media, NYY News TV. It's just a brief taste of where things are to come from here on out, bro. But appreciate everybody, and bro, I'm going. I ain't gonna lie, I was getting a little choked up there at the end. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to my man Ronald Hansley in the building. Ronald, my guy, it was awesome meeting you as well. Salute to you. It was a great conversation as well. And I appreciate a lot of the words of encouragement that I got from a lot of you guys. Anthony Medina, Ronald, TC Still, obviously TC Still, but Still 69, Hirsch, just everyone saying that they appreciate the work that we doing, right? Kev Dog as well, Tyler Tabbitt. So we appreciate all of you guys. And honestly, I was on a high for a couple of days because I just had to take all that in. And like I said, appreciate all you guys and the support that you show us over here at the Yankees Morning Brew. L.I. Yankee King, no, I was not speeding. I was not speeding, my guy. You don't got to worry about I was not speeding. I was following the rules. But TC, let's get into the game from last night. We talked about the weekend. You're going to be at the next event in New York City. I really hope. I really want to meet you.
Oh, for sure.
let's talk about the game from last night. I'm gonna bring up the
Yeah.
Phillies lineup. TC, if you want, do the starting lineup, and I'll handle the pitching rotation. Go ahead.
Well, Trey Turner yesterday was 2 for 4. Schwarber was 2 for 4. JT Realmuto 2 for 4. Nick Castellanos was 1 for 4. And are you sure this is right?
Bowman,
Braun?
yeah.
Baum was 1 for 3. I thought he was.
No,
I thought he got like we couldn't get him out. Derek Hall 1 for 4, and Sosa was 0 for 4. Stott was 0 for 4, and Marsh was 0 for 3.
yeah. Actually, Brendan Marsh was 2 for 4. I did get that wrong.
Yeah, I
At
think
the end,
that
I
was
put
a
the
little.
wrong one up. Yeah, but Taijuan Walker, he pitched 4 in the third innings. He
Yeah.
gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Marte came in afterwards. He gave up that big inning when the Yankees score another 4 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Vasquez 2 in the thirds, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And Dominguez, he pitched the inning, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and a 1 strikeout. The losing pitcher was Taijuan Walker, the former Met and the former Seattle Mariner. When it came to that Phillies lineup, you was talking about it. Brandon Marsh, he was in center field. Us Yankee fans that were that were in center field, that were in the bleachers, we were giving him a very hard time. We were Brandon all day. What's your thoughts on the play in the beginning of the game in the first inning from Brandon Marsh when DJ LeMahieu was able to get that triple? What's your thoughts?
Oh, that set the tone. That was
Set the
awesome.
tone.
Yeah,
that
I
set
mean
the tone.
the triple. They finally gave him a triple. I know they gave him a single with an error, but he didn't touch the ball, so that should have been a straight triple. But yeah, that set the tone, and the Yankees just went on from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the Phillies did have a lot of hits, which was a little concerning. But they didn't capitalize. They didn't know how to bring in runs. So no concern there with the fact that Nestor gave up a lot of hits, but it's okay. Hey, we still come out with a victory, and that's all that matters.
Shout out to my guy Rod Thompson in the building. Can you smell what the Rod is cooking? Shout out to my man Rod. It was awesome meeting you as well. Just like I said on Sunday when me and Pete was calling the game, Rod, you are a tall bastard. That's one thing I got to say, but I love you, my guy Rod. It was awesome chopping it up. And Rod's another one. He pulled me to the side. We was having a conversation, and the same thing gave me so much words of endearment and encouragement. So, Raj, got to give you your flowers, my guy. Appreciate you. And yes, this is something that I wanted to bring up. I appreciate Li putting it in the chat, but to you Yankee fans that are at the Yankee game, right? There's a few things I'm gonna need you to do. Stop with the F Altuve chants. It's getting corny, right?
Yeah,
We're not even playing the Houston Astros, and you're starting with the F Altuve chants.
Unnecessary.
And they started it in the second inning.
Yeah, that's just that's not what Yankee fans do. We don't do that. That's what like Red Sox fans do, and Astro fan, whatever. Yeah, come on. We're not playing the Astros. We don't worry about them. We just worry about the team we're playing.
And honestly, it was literally just from a small section in Yankee Stadium. It was the bleacher it was in the bleacher creatures section, but not the main bleacher creatures. Like shout out to my guy Mark. Mark is an amazing guy. He is the leader of the bleacher creatures. He is the guy who actually starts the roll calls. If you guys haven't seen, I had him on the show back when we was on KOD Media on that channel, but I'm going to tap into him, have him on the show again. But my guy Mark is amazing. It wasn't from the main bleacher creature crowd, right? It was for the people who was filtering in on the side of the bleacher creatures, and it was more of the younger crowd, 16, 17 years old. Like I said, there was a 16-year-old that came up to me yesterday, try to mess with my guy Halal. I wasn't gonna let that happen, but
no,
it was just it's just classless, man. And like TC says, save that for other fan bases to do. Save that for the Red Sox, right? Save that for the Giants fan. Yankee fans, we don't do that. The Altuve thing was years ago. Was the 3 years ago right now. We're in 2023. Get over it. Stop it.
He's not even playing. He's injured.
And we're not even playing the Astros. He's not playing, and we're not even playing the Astros. You guys are going to have to save that for August. I want to ask you, the first time we played the Astros this season is in August. What's your thoughts on that and how far away that is?
Yeah, that's far away, but that's all right. We'll be in midseason form, and we'll take care of him.
Okay,
we got something special for him.
We definitely do got something special. And if you guys are in here, hit that like button for the boys as we continue this conversation. But also, there's another thing I wanted to point out, right? No, I wasn't about to throw hands with a child. All right. I was Li, I was about to do you and just choke him out a few seconds. You feel
He
me?
always wants to fight.
No. We don't promote violence at all. But no, one thing else I wanted to point out is Yankee fans, when you're at the stadium, right? When you're at the stadium, stop doing the stupid wave.
Mm.
That's a Met thing. That's Shea Stadium. That's Citi Field. That's not Yankees Stadium. Oh, Halal said he's back in the car on the way to the airport. Halal, you have a good trip. Have fun in Atlanta, my
Be
guy.
safe.
Send my love to your family as well. Back to it. I'm going to throw it over to you, TC. When it comes with the wave, I hate that thing. And Steve, I appreciate you, Steve. That's why me and Steve is like this. When it comes to the wave, what's your thoughts on it, bro?
The wave should be set for fan bases like the Royals or Pirates. You know, the games, they're, they're not in the game, so give the fans something to go to do. With the Yankees, no, there's no need. It interrupts the experience. We're trying to watch a game. You guys are standing up, and it just leave that alone. That's old. That needs to go away.
Yeah, and also if the Yankees lose a game, don't play Frank Sinatra.
No.
Find another song to play. Frank Sinatra is supposed to be the song that
Right.
you play when we win. I appreciate you, Tyler, for throwing that in the chat, because as all of us, we was leaving Yankee Stadium on Saturday, and we'll get into that game. We was leaving it, and all of us were saying it. Why are they playing Frank Sinatra? They shouldn't be playing Frank Sinatra when we lose. But I'm going to bring up the Yankees, and I'm pretty sure I got this one right. But when it comes to the Yankees, DJ LeMahieu led it off. He was 2 for 5. Aaron Judge was in center field, 1 for 4. Anthony Rizzo, the first baseman, was 1 for 4. Big G in the DH spot was 0 for 4. Gleyber Torres, 2 for 2 with a home run, his 100th home run of his career. Shout out to Gleyber Torres. When Gleyber Torres hit that home run, we were all screaming in the stadium. He did it for LI Yankee King. Frenchie Cordero is in right field. He was 1 for 5. Of course, the famous Aaron Hicks in left field was 0 for 3. Jose Trevino, our amigo, the catcher, was 2 for 4. And the young phenom Anthony Volpe, the shortstop, 0 for 2. Before we go over to the pitching side of things, TC, what's your thoughts on the lineup? And do you have anybody you like to point out about in this lineup?
The lineup, I like the lineup. Everybody came, they came through. You got Trevino came through with a couple hits there, and Frenchie Cordero, I love that double, 2-run double. A little mixed in the small ball with the the home run ball, and that's what we want. I like to see scoring runs without home runs, and it happened. So it's and even Anthony Volpe, 0 for 2. He's on base with a couple walks. He's still causing havoc on the bases. He's scoring runs. So even a day where he doesn't get a hit, he still does damage. So I love the balance in the lineup. You got some home run hitters and contact hitters, and so far so good. The first 4 games are averaging 6 runs. I like what I see.
Yeah, I just realized that, Steve. I put Loizaga as the losing pitcher. I apologize. I did this at like 5 in the morning, so sorry about that. But yeah, I agree with you, bro. Even with Volpe not getting that hit, right? Even with Volpe going hitless 0 for 2, he still got some walks. He was still able to have good at bats. He was pressing a little bit, swinging early in the counts for those 2 at bats that he got out. But the last 2 at bats that he had, was able to put him 3-2 and was able to draw some walks. So that's a good sign to see. Even though he's not getting the hits, he's not expanding the strike zone and making it harder for him to get the hit. So I do like that from Anthony Volpe. Aaron Hicks is Aaron Hicks. Like Li said in the chat, Aaron Hicks, he talked all that mess on Twitter the day before, and then he goes 0 for 3, and he looked god awful at the plate.
He's got to go.
I just
don't
cut understand.
The cord, and it needs to be. He needs to be done.
And don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna just remove this for a second. I'll bring it back up in a few. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to Aaron Hicks, do I want to see Aaron Hicks perform well with the Yankees? Absolutely. I do not want to watch every game and have to complain about Aaron Hicks. I do not want to do that. But it's like this. If you had a cup, right? I'm not sure if you ever heard this analogy before, TC. Maybe you have. But if you have an empty cup, right? And then you have a little drop, a little drop, a little drop, a little drop. Oh, after a while, it's going to overflow. And that's where we are at with Aaron Hicks right now. We are at the point that cup that we had that has all of our tolerance in it, that cup is overflowing because we can't stand and deal with this nonsense anymore. We want you to succeed. Just show us that you care, right? or one thing before the game started, TC, and I'll throw it over to you.
Mhm.
Giancarlo Stanton, right? Yankee fans have been on Giancarlo Stanton since he's been traded over here, right? He has great moments in the postseason, but there's still a fraction of the fan base that say that he's not living up to the hype of being a former MVP from the National League, and it's very warranted. He hasn't even cracked 40 home runs over here with the Yankees, but what he did yesterday, he went to the right field stands and he was with the fans for about 20 minutes before the game started, signing autographs. The only Yankee player to be over there was Giancarlo Stanton. Guarantee you there was probably a few little knuckleheads in that crowd that was talking mess to Giancarlo Stanton, because you're always going to find knuckleheads. If Aaron Hicks just shows the people that he care, we won't be this bad on you. But it's the fact that you show us that you don't care that makes us mad. Shout out to my man NYY's Ruben's in the building. Ruben, what it do? What's your thoughts on this whole Aaron Hicks situation and what I brought up, brother?
Yeah, if he would just, shut his mouth and produce on the field, we'd be fine with it. But he makes mistakes in the field. He drops fly balls. He quits on the team. He shows up late. And then he blames everyone else, blames the fans, blames the coach. You're not putting me in enough. You're not playing me. You're benching me. You only pinch hit me against closers. Come on, you're a professional player. You're lucky to be there. Be grateful. Don't blame everybody else and put in the work. And this is uncalled for with this Hicks. Enough's enough. I mean, honestly, these guys in the chat, they know it. If they were the manager, he'd be gone. He'd be benched forever. You don't get this, you say something to the media and all of a sudden you're in the lineup the next day. Get the heck out of here. What do you he needs to be on the bench and on his way out. Honestly, I'd cut him today. I would have.
And that's the thing, right? And you're doing something bad if you're making TC raise his voice. TC never raises his voice.
No. He raises my blood pressure, and I got to calm down. You
gotta relax. But no, you're right, TC. When it comes to it, and this is the thing, Yankee fans are quick to say, "Oh, we should just trade him." Who's gonna trade for him?
Nobody wants him.
What major league team? If I'm a GM on another major league team, and you want to trade me Aaron Hicks and the $30 million that he is owed, right? I want a top 10, top 15 prospect if you want me to eat that $30 million. And I don't think Brian Cashman is going to be that type of GM to give up a prospect just so another team eats the contract. The Yankees need to flex their financial muscles. Just eat this contract. If you got to give him a type of a buyout that stretches it out, instead of 3 seasons, it stretches it over 10 years or whatever, do what you got to do. But this guy's time in New York City, it has to come to an end, because I do not want to be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the season complaining about Aaron Hicks. I just don't want to do it. I know the people in the chat don't want to waste their typing fingers talking about Aaron Hicks. I hope when Harrison Bader comes back or for the IL, Hicks just gets cut. I really am praying for that, brother, because at least with Estevan Florial, right? You have speed. He has speed. He has the ability to play a decent outfield. He has the ability to run into a home run here and there. Aaron Hicks, when he is in left field trying to track down a ball, the back of your head is thinking, is he going to drop it this time? Is he going to drop it this time? And that's not what fans need to be watching during the game. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that used to be his strong point, was his fielding, and now he has no fielding and no hitting. So there's no reason to keep this guy. I don't. I mean, are they just trying to appease him? Like, just be patient. We'll give you just cut the guy. This is a business. You're out of here. We're done with you. Frenchie Cordero came first game double. He's produced 2 runs. Hicks, what did you do? You did nothing.
0 for 3 with a strikeout.
Ugly at bats, weak contact. Yeah, enough's enough.
And it's getting to the point that the umpires don't like you anymore, because the umpires are just tired of you and they're just going to call everything a strike that's close. But Want to come
no more
back
Hicks
over here
talk.
to the
No more Hicks
yeah,
talk.
no more Hicks. Come back over here to the pitching side of things. Nestor Cortez did pitch 5 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Ian
Look good.
Hamilton pitched the inning in 2/3, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Jonathan Lasagna, he came into the game an inning in the 3rd, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Clay Holmes, we saw a Clay Holmes sighting. Hopefully, Clay Holmes gets his act
He
together.
looked a lot
But
better.
he pitched the inning. He gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. He definitely looked a lot better. The winning pitcher was Nestor Cortez. I was mistaken right there by making it lasagna the loss, but I apologize.
You're thinking about lasagna, right? Right. That's
I
what
was
you-
thinking about, I'm hungry right now talking about lasagna right now. But Gleyber Torres, I'm going to talk about Gleyber Torres for a second,
Yeah.
right? Because
There we go.
I've seen it the opening series against San Francisco, even last night game against the Phillies. When Gleyber Torres' focuses to going up the middle and to right field, that man is a 370 plus hitter, right? He needs to focus with going up the middle and going to right field.
Yep.
If he runs into a home run into the right field bleachers, he'll run into it just like he did yesterday. He had his 100th home run of the season. Gleyber Torres, you are a year away from hitting the free agent market. When it comes to Gleyber Torres, what's your expectations? And if you had any words of wisdom for Gleyber Torres, TC, what would they be?
Well, first off, Gleyber, going to right field is definitely his strong point right now. And like when he hits it, it doesn't even look like it's out. It's just amazing that it goes out. But he, when he sprays it that way, that will make him a better hitter. And I think this year, seeing that he's getting close to free agency, he's gonna step it up. But if I had some words of wisdom for him, a little more hustle and a little more.
Yeah.
I noticed yesterday that double play ball that Volpe tried to throw to him and he wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't there. You just be a little more alert on the fielding, get in the right positions, show a little more hustle. It looks like I have no chance to get there. It's like he didn't even try. Even when he's running the bases, a little more hustle, but the kid's very talented. He just needs to put it all together. And I think this year it might happen for him.
Shout out to my man D-Rod in the chat. D-Rod said, Hector, you were everywhere. The stadium, Gramercy Tavern, and now back live streaming. D-Rod, I was at the stadium as well last night. Me, Pete, Jera, Felix, Joe, Halal. We was at the stadium last night, and it was awesome. My man Ruben said, bro, Gleyber's approach keeps trying to pull me back into believing in him. Absolutely, Ruben. As a long-term second base, his bat is special, but it's literally about his approach and his effort, and that's where it comes in when it comes to struggling. It's the effort, it's his approach. Stop trying to be a pull-heavy hitter.
Yeah.
When you hit 38 home runs that one season, 15 of those home runs came against the Baltimore Orioles. There was a reason why you got the 38 home runs. There was a reason why you got those extra 15 home runs, because it was the Baltimore Orioles. Just work on your approach, keep it up the middle and to right field, Gleyber Torres, and just work on that hustle, right? Regardless of what happens, whether Peraza gets called up, whether Gleyber Torres gets traded, whatever comes from this, you just have to focus on improving your game. So that's either the Yankees going to keep you or the Yankees are going to build off of your early season success and try to trade you to another team, right? But whatever you have to do, Gleyber Torres, just work on your hustle. That's all we want to see. Shout out to my man Mitchell Fernandez in the building. Mitchell Fernandez, what it do, what it do. Let me do a bit of a roll call as we continue. My guy Ivan Manny's in the building. Ivan, how you doing? Like I said, Anthony Medina said Hicks complains too much. Oh, God. Oh, God.
He changed his picture, huh, Medina?
Yeah. And Medina changed his picture. That's right. New season. Everybody's changing things up. You see, we got a new background here at Yankees Morning Brew and everything. Jonathan, Hector, I have to go, but I hope to be available Thursday. Salute to you, Jonathan, as well. Just so you guys know, we have a program switch up starting next week. Yankees Morning Brew will be live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. in the afternoon, not 11 a.m., 12 p.m., just because there are other Yankee content creators that I don't want to step on their toes when it comes to Pete and the All Right So, Pinstripe Chronicles, and Uncle Tats over there. I just want to make sure everybody is able to have that full audience, right? But before I continue, I just got to shout out Pete Simonetti, right? My brother Pete and I mean this with the most sincerity ever. That man, I can call him a brother, right? The welcoming energy that he had, the excitement that we all had being together. If you guys saw Game Season Live Sunday when Pete and I was calling the game, both of our madness, it matches each other so well. It's just a beautiful thing to watch. But Pete Seminetti, great guy, great human being. Jigga as well. Jigga, of course, but Jira as well. Great human being. It was just an awesome time. And when you're around people who are truly authentic, who are truly themselves, they don't fake a funk, right? What you see from Pete Seminetti on screen is what you get from him in person. What you see from Jigga on screen is what you definitely get in person when it comes to Jigga. And the same thing like me. What you see from me on screen is what you go get from me in person. It was just a lot of people was shocked because they didn't realize, like, oh, you wear glasses? I was like, yeah, I wear glasses. I just don't wear them on screen because of the glare and the light.
Yeah.
But that was the only confusion that I had with people. People say, oh, you shaved and you wear glasses. Yeah, I can't see nothing. So even when I'm here, it's hard for me to see. That's why I be focusing. Anthony Medina was the first one to say it. He was like, no doubt. Anthony was like, oh, Hector, I didn't know you wear glasses. I was like, yeah, Anthony, I'm a blind bastard myself.
Hey, going back to that game season, though, well, I was watching at the Gramercy. You guys did such a good job. I mean, that was hilarious, and that was actually when I later on I was watching the K and A-Rod telecast on ESPN2. I'm like, these guys have nothing on Hector and Pete. You guys are so much better. I'm not even joking. I'm not saying that's
No, I get it.
I'm
I
being
appreciate
serious,
that, bro.
and you know, I know that's your dream to be there one day, and I think it's there. Sky's the limit because you guys are terrific. I'm not blowing smoke. That's honest truth.
No, I appreciate that. And that was the first regular season game that Pete and I we called together. We did one for spring training, but that was the first regular season game. And my God, did I have a good time. So as long as Pete Seminetti doesn't get tired of me or doesn't get annoyed by me, I'll be there as long as he needs me.
You guys are a good team. I think you guys look like you had a lot of fun.
Oh, hold on. My man Ruben said, Hector, this Thursday, my second son, Ruben Elijah, will be born. Ruben, congratulations, my guy.
Congratulations, yeah.
Ruben, make sure you message me on Twitter. I want to get your address so I can send you some stuff for your kid, right? I want to be able to, give some t-shirts and stuff like that. So Ruben, make sure you message me on Twitter so we can straighten that out. But again, guys, if you guys can, put the claps in the chat right now for Ruben. He's having a baby, his second son. Shout out to my guy, Ruben. FJ says, what makes you think the D-backs and the Rockies are going to take? Oh, him and Eli is having their own conversation about DJ LeMahieu.
Come on, Eli.
Yeah, Eli. When it comes to the DJ LeMahieu trade talks, he's not going to happen. He was 2 for 5 yesterday. He looked good. I know you're in love with Gleyber Torres, but Eli, I need you to pump the brakes, my guy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Take it a bit easy. But the Yankees, they do have a game tonight. I think somebody put it in the chat that Aaron Judge will be DHing tonight, which means Giancarlo Stanton will have the day off. When it comes to the rotation of the outfield, and like now it's kind of crucial because obviously Harrison Bader is out. How do you think Aaron Boone needs to approach this roster when it comes to the outfield, right? Especially right now with some people's injured. Obviously, Oswald Peraza is going to be out there. Oswald Cabrera is going to be out there. Aaron Hicks is going to be out there. And Frenchie Cordero is going to be out there today, right? Not the best defensive lineup when you talk about the outfield, but what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is if it's only one game, maybe per 10 or 15, that's fine. But if this is going to be a consistent, outfield, I don't have high hopes for it. With Frenchie and Hicks, their liabilities out there. Cabrera's good, but he's not an everyday left fielder, and he's got athleticism, but I do worry about the configuration out there in the outfield.
Like, because when it comes to it, right, when you talk about Cabrera, he's learning on the fly, right? We got to understand learning on the fly. But even with him learning on the fly and us Yankee fans being patient with him, at least he shows efforts, bro, right? At least he shows that he cares. When it comes to Frenchie Cordero, and it's a conversation Pete and I was having last night, when it comes to Frenchie, right, yes, we would love to see Rafael Ortega work out, right? We would love to see Willie Calhoun work out. But the thing about Frenchie is that he could play both left field, right field, and first base.
Right.
Very versatile. Willie Calhoun and Rafael Ortega, they was just outfielders, right? You want to have more versatility in the lineup. I mean, in this roster. That's why when you look at guys like DJ, he could play first, he could play second, he could play third base. When you look at Oswald Cabrera, he could play all over the place, right?
Right.
Even Anthony Volpe could play short, second, and third. So you have to have versatility. The only person in our roster that doesn't is a Gleyber Torres and an Aaron Hicks. Aaron Judge is, DH,
Rizzo.
center field. We already know. Rizzo, the first baseman, we already know. But those are our main staple guys, right?
Yeah.
It's the other pieces that you add around them, right? And as much as like I said, want to see Rafael Ortega or Willie Calhoun work, I'm pretty excited about what we could get from Franchi Cordero. Like you said, he had that double yesterday. He looked decent in the outfield and right field. He didn't look overmatched. He didn't look like
that throw was a little off. That play that Nestor backed up the catcher and threw out Marsh at third? Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was that that throw was crazy. But I mean, he had something on it. He just overthrew Trevino.
Well, I'm getting a text message right now, right? So the following week is when we're going to switch up the schedule for Yankees Morning Brew.
Okay.
Just because next week on Knicks Morning Brew, we got a special guest on Friday. So not next week, the following week. So next week, Tuesday and Thursday will still be Yankees Morning Brew. The following week is when we're going to make that transition. So I do apologize for that. Please just, keep hitting that subscribe button. You get the notifications. And like Tyler says, Calhoun, he's still in AAA, right? And he did accept that assignment. So he may help us down the line. And you just have to have as much depth as you possibly can. You see it with the starting rotation. Injuries happen, so we got the next man up. And talking about the next man up, let's talk about Johnny Brito. What was your thoughts on the young kid Brito and his start on Sunday? Because it was amazing.
Yeah, the kid looked great. Poised, it didn't affect him being at Yankee Stadium, all lights on him. It was just he came through. His pitches were he's pumping 90. He had that changeup and slider. It just wow. He's got some definite promise, and it's good that they're keeping him on his normal rest. Going to send him down, at least pitch on his normal 5 days rest, and then bring him up when we need him. Right now we don't need a fifth starter. Keep him fresh and ready to go. And we never have enough pitching. So to have a guy right there, in AAA that we can call up, because we know that we're not going to survive the whole season with the starting five making it all the way. We already see that right now. So to have a guy like that, hey, that's just more insurance for us.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I couldn't disagree at all with anything that you just said. We understand he's a rookie. He made his first major league start. He has options, right? So you're going to try to use the options to your advantage if you're Brian Cashman, right? Trying to move around pieces here or there, like you said, send Brito down just to bring up that fresh arm, just so you can have a fresh arm in the bullpen, because you never know what happens, right? Either you need that extra arm because your bullpen is overworked, or you guys are blowing out a team 8-1 and you don't want to try to waste one of your good arms, so you use one of those guys, right? Just like Ian Hamilton in the middle of the innings yesterday, transferred over to Loizaga and to Clay Holmes, right? But the important part when it comes to this starting rotation will be the health of Carlos Rodon and Luis Severino. We understand that. Whatever you get out of Frankie Montas, that's just bonus points. I'm not expecting, I'm not counting, and I'm not putting many expectations on Frankie Montas. What was your thoughts on Garrett Cole first start of the season?
Oh, I was pleasantly happy to see a performance like that. That was MVP performance. Lights out. He's our only healthy guy right now, really. And he was vintage Garrett Cole, and the fastball was just popping, and he was mixing it up. I think he wasn't relying too much on the slider, the curve. He was confident. He had confidence in his fastball, and you could see it. He was throwing it all the time. So and they were missing it. What do you have? 11 strikeouts.
11 strikeouts has the Yankees record now for opening day strikeouts. 11 strikeouts. when it
And that
comes
was
to opening day.
6 innings. Yeah, 6 innings. That's all we
6
could
innings,
ask for.
11 strikeouts, no runs. Garrett
Mhm.
Cole, first start of the season, phenomenal. Now he
Yeah.
just has to build up off of this. Like you said,
Mhm.
he wasn't reliant too much on his slider. He threw his breaking pitch when he had to
Mhm.
throw it. But last year, it felt like he wasn't confident in his fastball, so he
Yeah.
was relying more on his off-speed pitches. First start of the season, he was pumping that fastball. I
Yeah.
think his fastball was 60% of the pitches that he thrown. If I'm not mistaken, 50 to 60%. But he was relying on his fastball and trusting his fastball. That's
Trusting,
what
yeah.
Garrett Cole has to do. Trust your fastball, keep the other hitters off balance, and good things will happen when it comes to Garrett Cole. If you're not throwing that fastball and you're throwing that slider, or that breaking, or that curveball, or that changeup, they're going to wait back and they're going to tattoo that for a home run. We saw that last year. So far, so good when it comes to Garrett Cole. First start of the season,
Yeah.
very impressive. You remember last year, he struggled to start the season.
Yeah, it was bad.
He struggled out
Gave
the
up
bat.
way too many home runs. Yeah.
Yeah, in order to find himself. So it's a good sign seeing in that first start
Very
of the
good
season,
sign.
got
Yeah.
it under his belt. Definitely got it under his belt. Now,
Yeah.
when it comes to the bullpen, right, TC, I want to ask you this. When
Mhm.
it comes to the bullpen, because it doesn't seem like there's a closer, right? Yes,
Mhm.
Clay Holmes was the closer last year. How do you think that situation is going to work itself out? And on top of it, when it comes to the roles of certain relievers, where do you have some people at? Like if you could say Clay Holmes, Loaizaga, or
Mhm.
Marinaccio, where would you rank them in the pecking order?
Well, Boone's circle of trust is definitely Loaizaga, Peralta, Marinaccio, King, and Holmes. So that's his, Fab Five, if you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Holmes, he might have a short leash on this closer role. He did look good yesterday. The first outing didn't fare too well. The guy that I'm looking for, that I know a lot of people have brought up, is Ron Marinaccio for closer. That kid has some good stuff, and he doesn't look rattled. And I think he would relish that ninth inning role. And I think
Mm-hmm.
eventually he's gonna, if not this year, possibly next year, because that kid has ice in his veins, and I love his stuff.
Mm-hmm. He like you see it in his eyes, like the
Mhm.
intensity he has in his eyes while he's on the mound. Like you said,
Yep.
he doesn't seem like he's going to crack under pressure, right? It seems like he was born for this. So I would love to see Ron Marinaccio be named the closer by the time the season is over. This is a conversation Pete and I was having, and like Ruben said, Brito might not have a huge ceiling, but his floor is literally a starting pitcher. He's not surprised he isn't ranked higher. So is I, Ruben. Baseball America has Johnny Brito as the best control in the Yankees farm system. We saw it, that sinker, 96, 98 miles per hour. That changeup was filthy, 88 miles per hour. I was trying to look at the grip. It kind of looked like it was a circle change instead of just a flat changeup or whatever. But when it comes to Johnny Brito, his control was phenomenal. His poise on the mound was phenomenal. He didn't crack under pressure as well. And like Ruben said, he definitely should be ranked higher. And he was maybe one of these Yankee prospects that fly under the radar, but they actually perform well at the major league roster. When you look at Brito's numbers in the minor leagues, he only had one season where his ERA was over 4. That was 2019. Besides that, 2020, it was a wash year. We get that. 2021, 2022, and last year, 2021, 2022, his ERA was sitting well below 4. He had 1 year at 3.17. Last year, he pitched 2.96, not that many walks. So Brito definitely should be ranked a lot higher. I'm not sure what they're looking at. The only thing that I can point to is his age. He's 25 years old. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, he has the options to be in AAA, and the kid has a lot. He has a lot going for him. I mean, he's got the 3 pitches, and they're all working. And we don't, like people say in the chat, we don't have enough depth pitching in the minors, and this guy's a breath of fresh air to have. Hey, somebody went down. We got Brito. Rather than, oh, let's see what we're gonna do, a bullpen game, or just bring up a double leg. It's like, come on. So at least to have somebody like that. We also have Lewis Heel, but he's injured. But that's another guy that has some promise. But Brito right now looks like he could actually leapfrog Herman and Schmidt. It's possible. So when Rodon and Severino come back, it's possible Brito sticks with the team.
And I want to shout out my man Ruben, right? This is why Ruben, I swear to God, Ruben, as soon as I get like a payroll and stuff like that, I need to pay you for this vaccine info that he be dropping me, right? Ruben said, so far, Volpe shows to be at the same level when it comes to arm strength like IKF. He is averaging 82.2 miles per hour on his 16 throws. The only difference is that Volpe has a much more quicker and accurate release. Peraza in 2022 averaged 88 miles per hour. Carlos Correa, in comparison, averaged 88.1 miles per hour when it comes to the arm strength. You see the baseball IQ, and Ruben, I definitely appreciate you, my guy. You see the not only the fielding ability or the arm strength when it comes to Volpe, but that baseball IQ. He has the baseball IQ that you either got to be born with, you can't be taught. You pointed it out with Gleyber Torres, right? Volpe was trying to shuffle him a throw to second base in order to start the double play. I'm not sure if Gleyber thought that Volpe wouldn't have been able to have enough time for that throw, but he wasn't ready for that throw, right? When it comes to Volpe and that baseball IQ that we're talking about, what's your thoughts on it, TC?
No, you see it right away in this first week. Yeah, the way he releases the ball, the quick release, that saves a second or two. From when IKF would take forever to get the release it, and then he would throw it in the dirt. Volpe is some of the plays. They underestimate his fielding. He's made some dazzling plays already in the field, going to his left, going to his right. I mean, yesterday, he probably could have maybe got that one and got to the base himself. He was a little too far because Gleyber just gave up on it. But yeah, his IQ and some of the smart plays, even in spring training, I think he threw one to third. He cut a runner off going to third. He's just heads up. He's just an all around great player, and you can see it. This is the first glimpse of it. I mean, the sky is the limit. I mean, this guy, he's legit, and I wish we had 4 or 5 more Volpes.
No, 100%, bro. 100%. When it comes to Volpe, that kid, he is going to be special. And I understand his batting average right now may not be what a lot of fans want to see.
Yeah.
But it's literally the 4th game of the season, right? Today's the 5th game of the season. Let's see what happens today. But the one thing you have to be encouraged about when it comes to Volpe is his plate discipline. He is getting walks. He is getting on base. I think in every game so far in the first 4 games of his career, he has gotten on base via the walk.
Yeah.
He has gotten on base every game via the walk. And that's something that if you're going to rest your hat on, that's something you got to rest your hat on as well. When it comes to the shift and the new rule changes, the batting average in baseball is completely up by 15 points compared from last year. Last year, it was a 230 batting average in that first weekend series. This year is a 245 batting average. I understand. 15 points, 245. You may not think that's a big deal, but that is definitely a big deal when it comes to the offense and all of baseball, right? Last year, when it comes to stolen bases, that first series, that first weekend, stolen bases last year, 24 stolen bases, caught 71% of the time. People were caught 71% of the time. This weekend, we had 74 stolen bases with people only caught 27% of the time.
Yeah.
So whatever baseball did, whatever Rob Manfred did, I know if you don't like Rob Manfred, what he did right now with these rule changes are going to be great for the sport of baseball. TC, what's your thoughts?
No, I agree 100%. I mean, I love baseball is not just home runs and strikeouts. The baseball is strategy. Stolen bases is part of it. And back to I grew up in the 90s, so the 90s baseball was a lot of stolen bases. You have Vince Coleman and Henderson, you got Willie McGee, you had all these threats, and that kind of went away. You wouldn't even see anybody steal more than 45, 50 bases. Now it's possible that they could pass that this year, and it makes for a better game. You don't want to just let's say, oh no, didn't home run, didn't score. You got guys moving all over. Volpe's just dancing all over the bases. I love that. Distract the pitchers, have them think about oh hey, this guy might go. I better and it gives the advantage to the batter. The pitcher's distracted, the batter gets a meatball, and there you go. So it does make the game more exciting. I love it. It's like bringing old school baseball back.
Yeah, like you said, the 50s, they were averaging 2.5 to 2 hours and 20 minutes for the games, right?
Yeah.
it didn't start getting out of control. Or I shouldn't say not getting out of control. It's starting getting out of control. I think I want to say 1981. Yeah, 1981. There was a player with the San Diego Padres, an outfielder. I'm forgetting his name, but he was the first Major League Baseball player to start stepping out of the box, to start fixing his gloves, to start getting in motion, right? So in the 80s, that's when that trend started to happen, that people started taking their time and being more like deliberate when it comes to not throwing the pitch at fast like they used to back in the days. I'm glad baseball corrected this because, like I said, going to the game at 7 o'clock, getting to the stadium at 5:30, like we like. You like to get to the stadium early. You like to get your seats. You like to do whatever you got to do. If I'm at the stadium by 5:30 and I'm leaving the stadium at 9:30, that's a good night.
Yes.
That's a great night, right? I'm not leaving at 10:30 at night. I'm not leaving close to 11 o'clock at night, right? It's good for the sport of baseball.
Yeah, the game last night was less than 3 hours, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely was.
and the Yankees scored 8 runs. It wasn't just like a 1-0, shutout. And wow, I mean that's a shock. We can't have the days of I don't know if you remember Nomar Garciaparra with adjusting the gloves every second, every time he was getting out of the box and timeout, like 7, 8 timeouts during the bat. No more of this. I like it. Just get it going. Hey, people are sitting down ready to watch a game, not just did they even pitch the ball yet? Like no, you're now you gotta, like Halal said, you gotta get your food, get in your seat. It's like, oh, what did I miss? So it's exciting. So I like it. I like that they're going back to old school.
Facts. Before we get out of here, because we're about to get to 12 o'clock, before we get out of here, let's just take a tour around the rest of the league to check out the scores from every other game. The Mets lost to the Brewers 10-0. Hey, how you doing? If you're a Yankee fan, you're happy about that.
Yeah.
The San Francisco Giants, they beat the White Sox 12-3. The Cincinnati Reds beat the Chicago Cubs 7-6. The Minnesota Twins, Joey Gallo getting more home runs. They beat the Marlins 11-1. He has 3. The Tampa Bay Rays, they beat the Washington Nationals 6-2. The Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Boston Red Sox 7-6. Kansas City beat the Toronto Blue Jays 9-5. Atlanta beat the Cardinals 8-4. The Baltimore Orioles, they beat the Texas Rangers 2-0. Watch out for Baltimore. I told you guys, watch out for Baltimore. The Detroit Tigers, they beat the Houston Astros 7-6. So, hey, if you're a Yankee fan, that's when you can say F Altuve, right? The Angels beat the Mariners 7-3. The Guardians beat the Athletics 12-11. The Padres beat the Diamondbacks 5-4. And to close it out, the LA Dodgers, they beat the Colorado Rockies 13-4. TC, any games that stuck out there on the breakdown?
Yeah, well, you brought it up. The Orioles blanking Texas. Those are 2 teams that are on the come up this year, and you got to watch out for both of them. And the Kansas City upsetting Toronto. Toronto starting out 1-3. I don't think KC's going to win too many games, so that was probably one of the games they're going to win.
And talking about Kansas City, did you see Aroldis Chapman reach into his bag and throw a few pitches 100 miles per hour?
It's early, so I mean he'll have his time to implode. So Yankee fans, don't worry. He'll fall back to where
he'll fall back to what he was the past couple of seasons with us. But listen, if it works out for Aroldis Chapman, you just got to wish him the best.
Good for him.
Good for him. And if you're Kansas City and Aroldis Chapman is able to find a way to get back to 80% of what he was, now you got a trade piece that you could trade at the trade deadline just for a prospect or 2. So Kansas City, regardless of what happens, if he's good or if he's bad, it's a low risk, high reward type of move when it comes to the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
But TC, any last words before we get up out of here? It is about to be 12 o'clock. What's your thoughts for tonight's game? Like I said, the Yankees are throwing out Domingo Germán. What do you want to see from Domingo Germán tonight? And we call Domingo Germán the German Sunday. So what would you like to see from the German Sunday, my guy?
Well, from Germán, you're probably going to get 4 to 5 good innings. I know when he goes through the lineup more than 2 times, he starts getting tagged. So if he can give us 4 to 5 good innings, 1 to 2 runs, I'd be happy with that. The lineup just keep rolling, just keep it consistent. I'd like to see Cabrera in there. Donaldson will probably be back in there. Judge will be DH, so the outfield, like we said, was Cordero and Hicks and and Cabrera. So, but I've been happy to see, or glad to see what's happening this week with the team. The scoring 6 runs a game. The pitching looks great. You know, in our 3 wins, we've only given up 1 run. So I mean, the guys that we brought up, Hamilton and Cordero, the bullpens. You know, these guys and Brewer, these guys are, you know, their role is to just, you know, eat up innings, and they're doing great. I mean, Matt Blake has done a fantastic job with his pitching, and I just can't wait to see what happens. I'm looking forward to this season. This looks great so far.
100% TC. I'm right there with you. And shout out to everybody in the chat that tuned in. If you're still watching this, hit the like button for the boys as we get up out of here. Shout out to my man Sunil in the chat. Sunil, my man. Appreciate you. Thank you for chopping in. Shout out also to Anthony Medina, who was in the building. Anthony, I appreciate you. FJ was in the building, my guy. He said, don't you guys remember Mark Hargrove from the 70s? I got to look back and check that up. I appreciate you, FJ. My man D-Rod was in the building. Tyler Tabbitt was in the building. L.I. Yankee King was in the building. NYY News Ruben was in the building. But can't forget Ivan Manny. We can't forget Ivan Manny. Gotta show my man Rod Thompson some love as well. But like always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you guys can, hit that like button again. And also hit that subscribe button for the boys. And like always, peace, salutation, TC Still. I love you, baby.
Peace out.
Peace.